By the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Even call centers, which rushed overseas in the hundreds of thousands. How many times you get the call? I'd like to talk to you about your credit card. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. They're going to put you all back in chains.
In my opinion, we don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now. The Democratic Party is diverse, and it should be reflected as so in our leadership.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
I think Joe Biden might be suffering from that same white entitlement and privilege and ego, where he's just that old school white male who feels like, hey, man, they need me, I don't need them, or I got them already.
Joe Biden is under fire this evening on comments he made about working alongside segregationist senators in the past.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up two segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy, he always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done. We didn't agree on much of anything. We got things done.
I think the two-party system, although my Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this, I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black in the South. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit.
It's that old school white male.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
30 seconds or less. What kind of a chance would a northeastern liberal like Joe Biden stand?
So I had to show that clip before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video. And obviously, as you guys saw by the title, it is Stephen A. Smith, who I've disagreed with a lot, right? And I still am probably not going to agree with everything he has to say here, but there is a big piece of this that I do agree with, and we're going to talk about that today. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive into what Stephen A. Smith recently had to say.
Oh man, you got chicken fingers, you got the whole deal. I went the route of making sure I had a hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion in sports?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now, what grade are you in?
7th grade.
7th grade.
Right now I'm just doing basketball, playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How y'all doing in school? What you tell the president about the school?
Favorite thing about it is the business academy I'm in. You get to like travel, so we've been to like NC State, Wake Tech, and
You're kidding me.
we went to this small dry cleaning business, and it's cool. It's a great experience.
I'm impressed. Is that a new program at the school?
Yes, sir, it is. It just started just a couple of years ago.
You know how much this guy loves you. You just feel it, can't you?
Yes, sir.
Your dad jumped in front of a bullet for you. By the way, we dads are hard to raise. Once you're a teenager, we're hard to raise. So you gotta be patient with us, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Go patient.
Before I get into this, let me say, in the interest of full disclosure, fairness, the Biden campaign says it would target North Carolina with heavy advertising in its push to win the battleground state in the 2024 election. Biden narrowly lost North Carolina to then-President Donald Trump in 2020. Biden visited Raleigh last month to speak about broadband internet and economic development. In the video, the president is seen, basically at a restaurant called Cookout, where he and Democratic Governor Roy Cooper ordered fried chicken, burgers, milkshakes, a signature of the restaurant, okay, before they were sitting, wherever the hell they were sitting. Biden then, it was at the guy's house. Biden then delivered the meals to the Fitz family, where they spoke about education over this fried chicken dinner. Biden made student loan forgiveness a key political battle in his first term as president. Eric Fitz is one of the tens of thousands of Americans who have had some student loan debt erased by Biden's actions. The video Biden posted Monday, however, focuses instead on the kids' plans, which is what you saw. Why do I have a problem with this? First of all, we all know about racial tropes, do we not? Racist tropes. You ever heard of that? Where people sit up there and try to use things to intimate something else of a racially insensitive nature. So black folks with the president and fried chicken ain't the greatest look. That's number one. Number two, President Biden, respectfully, I got to ask you this question. What the hell are you doing eating fried chicken? You're 81. What 81 you know is munching on fried chicken? You ain't been in the greatest health in a lot of people's eyes, you know. So eating some fried chicken ain't the greatest look. Thirdly, y'all knew Fox News and other networks jumped on that, right? And they talked about how he's trying to appeal with the black vote to go get fried chicken. They made the connection, right? Y'all would have a problem with Fox News and Jesse Waters bringing something like that up. I have a problem with the president. There's black kids all over the place. There's a whole bunch of black kids in Raleigh, North Carolina. That is the kind of scene, that is the kind of imagery you and your team decided to provide? Really? Really? Sitting down eating fried chicken. Come on, man. Now, on this show, I've called out Trump and various other Republicans for some of the decisions that they made and some of the things that they've done. Do you think I'm going to let President Biden off the hook? This wasn't Kamala Harris in Raleigh. This was him. This is the same dude who was a senator in the 90s pushing the crime bill. You know that crime bill that led to mass incarceration for an inordinate amount of black folks that Bill Clinton himself and others in the Democratic Party lamented? Well, who was more of a culprit in that regard than Biden? But this imagery, I want to know who the hell came up with that idea. Because you know Trump and the GOP are going to use that to their advantage, right? And they'll be right to do so. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if we're being fair, if we saw Donald Trump sitting down in a black household eating fried chicken with a father and a son, what would we say? What would we say?
We all know.
What would we say? You know folks out there would be calling it racist. Well, if it's racist for him, and I'm not saying it would be, but if it's racist for him, why wouldn't it be racist for Biden?
Easy. It's because Biden's a Democrat. That's why. Simple answer. Biden is a Democrat, so that gets ignored. But if Trump had done the exact same thing, it would be all over mainstream media 24 hours a day. All over it. They'd be screaming at the top of their lungs. Screaming. But because it's Biden, nobody says anything. Except for you, Stephen A. So I give you credit, sir. I give you credit. Continue.
I'm not calling the president the R word. I'm not making that accusation.
You should be.
I'm not accusing anybody on the Democratic or the Republican side for feeling that way over such an incident. What I am saying is it is what you projected in the eyes of some people. You've given people that ammunition. And if you could give it to them on the right, what absolves you on the left from doing the same thing? I mean, damn, I should have ran for president. Some of the idiotic ass things that you folks do, the level of insensitivity, the lack of understanding. No wonder people are willing to vote for Trump in 2020 or 2016. No wonder they're looking for candidates all over the place. No wonder you lose faith in the political apparatus that exists. Some of the asinine decisions that y'all make with no regard, no understanding, totally oblivious to how it's going to look. You don't think people going to look up Biden's history as a senator before he became president?
Hold on, Stephen A. You get a little too deep into the weeds now. You're going to expose too much. The establishment isn't going to like that. You heard him say it there. You don't think people are going to look up Biden's history before he became president? And I showed you guys a little clip. That was just a little taste. There's more of that. A whole lot more. Okay? A whole lot more. Right?
And juxtapose that to the imagery that was just provided. I should have ran. I might have got tens of millions of votes going up.
Nah, I don't know about that, Stephen A. I don't know about that, Stephen A. I highly doubt you would have even come close, especially in the Democrat Party, because they would have, let's say, how should I say this? They would have ensured that you had no shot. Let's just put it that way. And there's plenty of ways that they could have done it. They could have just easily just gave you no airtime. The only airtime you got is on your own personal shows. That's it. You don't get any other than that. Any other time than that. I mean, look what they did to RFK Jr. He was a Democrat, running as a Democrat, but because they were giving him so many roadblocks and putting up so much red tape, he was like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna run out as an independent. But he was originally a Democrat, running as a Democrat against Joe Biden. That's how he began his campaign. As a Democrat, he switched to independent because of all the red tape and roadblocks that Democrats put up for him. Yeah. You don't think they were going to do that to you, Stephen A? You remember what they did to Bernie, right? I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. I'm saying too much now. I'm saying too much now. Democrats love to scream about democracy, but they're constantly the ones that are taking away people's choice. Once again, look what happened to Bernie. Look what happened to RFK Jr. As Joe Biden would say, the proof is in the eating. It's right there in front of your face. Look what they're doing to Trump. Like Trump, love him or hate him, you cannot complain about democracy and then try to take the man off the ballot. Democracy is about people choosing, right? So why not let people choose? Is it because you know you're going to lose? I think so. I think we all know the real answer. But hey, yeah, man, Stephen A. Smith exposing Biden for giving black people fried chicken. If that had been Trump, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. And you know what? I think Trump should start doing and saying exactly what Democrats have done and what they do and say. And just let mainstream media go crazy. And then he comes out and he says, hey, I did exactly what you guys did. So because I do it, it's bad, and when you do it, it's good? Why is that? You know, because the establishment lost their mind. Lost their mind because Trump was talking to black people, and they called it pandering. But Biden can go to a black church, right, and give a political speech. Biden can pull up to a black restaurant and try to talk to black folks. Biden can go to a black home, right, and bring black people fried chicken and televise it. But that's all okay. That's not pandering. Hillary Clinton can say, hey, I keep hot sauce in my purse. That's not pandering. But Trump talking to black people is pandering. What a shame. But I'm happy it's being exposed. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.